Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Day in Film minicast, or the Spookycast. Today we're talking about The Invisible Man from 2022 instead of 1933, like we were talking about yesterday. As you can tell for this video, I've decided to make myself invisible to be as accurate to this movie as possible. And yeah, let's jump right into it. So this is a Leigh Whannell movie. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. I'm not actually invisible, and if I could be, maybe I would, I don't know. But let's actually jump right in. Before I do, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. It would mean the world to me, fellas. Really, it would. I love doing these videos, and if you're enjoying any of my antics or anything about me at all, feel free to show me some support. Anyway, Leigh Whannell 2022. What a film. I went in with very mixed expectations. A lot of film critics, or at least partial film critics that I really respect, reviewed this movie pretty poorly or just average, so I really wasn't sure what to expect. I like Elisabeth Moss, the leading woman, and I don't think I've seen any other Leigh Whannell pictures. And speaking on the director, Leigh Whannell is definitely a good one. I've only seen Upgrade, but still, I really enjoyed Upgrade. I think that's a very special movie. So I was excited to see The Invisible Man because this is the movie most people have seen of his. And I'm happy to say that it was very good. Obviously, nowhere near as good as the original. 1933, you just can't beat it, right? This movie tries very hard to show you that it is nothing like the original. And I really appreciate that, because it would be so easy to just remake the original and make it more serious and gritty. But instead of the original, so I keep saying that, but instead of the 1933 version, where it's about just like insanity and like a crazy chemist, this movie is about an abusive relationship and the struggle that specifically a woman goes through to get out. This movie is it's completely through the female gaze, or no, not the female gaze, that is not correct. This entire movie is through the perspective of a woman, a particularly abused woman, and in a relationship, which is not good. Sorry about the Mint Mobile ad. Yeah, so this movie just, at a baseline, is very different, and the only thing that these two movies share really at all is the fact that there is a man who is invisible. Something I wasn't sure I was going to like so much is the way that the Invisible Man is actually invisible. In this one, he is invisible because of a big, technologically super advanced camera screen suit, which is a lot more realistic than the chemically induced invisibility like in the original. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a bit more of a problem for me, trying too hard to do something different, but I think it actually worked really well, and I liked the restrictions that the technological suit brought with it. You know, there are a lot of really great action sequences in this movie, which is something, again, the 1933 version didn't really have. There are a lot of great action sequences in this movie where the person in the suit, whether it's Adrian or his brother, is either completely invisible or flickering in and out, and it looks very good. There's that fighting scene with the main chick and Adrian in the kitchen that looks great, completely invisible. It was just like really good stunt work from the lead. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. And then the fight scene, or the action scene in the hospital hallway, where it is just Adrian just beating on a bunch of poor innocent people. That's something really good, because it shows how powerful he is, because like in the first movie it was like a chemically induced strength thing, but in this movie I assume it's the suit that makes them more powerful. It could just not be, and he's just really strong, I don't know. But either way, I think it does a great it wonderfully exemplifies why the technological suit is good in its own merit. The characters are pretty good. It does sort of feel like with the family that she ends up hanging out with, it feels like they're kind of trying to force you to love them, and I don't know if it quite earns it. I mean, at no point am I rooting for like the girl to die or anything. You know, I don't want any harm to befall these people, but it's more of like a shaky, like, oh, look how you're supposed to love these people, look how loving they're supposed to be, look at all these things. instead of just like naturally showing it. But so much of this movie is just the main chick on the run that you can't really squeeze that in no matter how you cut it, which is okay. And I think overall I did care. At no point was I like, oh, I can't wait to see how this character dies, because most of the characters you end up genuinely caring about. The score in this movie is really good. There are a lot of really, I guess, bassy, I don't know if that's the word you'd want to use, but there are a lot of bassy songs in this movie, which end up working really well for the invisibility for some reason. Sorry about the Mint Mobile ad again. I think it's happened every time now. But for some reason it fits really well with the invisibility, like cloaking and uncloaking scenes. I think it's really cool. This movie isn't very scary to me. A lot of it is just like loud sound horror, which is, if it works for you, then it works, but it's just not my cup of tea personally. But I think this movie really boils down to an incredible perspective and lead actress. Again, it's completely from the female perspective, and it works really well. If you genuinely feel frightened for her, you want her to get out of this relationship. You see how horribly it's affected her, things like that. It does something completely different from the original without like just crapping on its legacy. And the like couple of homages that are in the movie to the original, really nice, really appreciated. The CG was not great. I think the only real instance of CG I can think of was at the start with the waves when it's doing the title cards. That looks really bad. I'm not gonna hold you on that, but otherwise I think this movie is a very good new interpretation of the Invisible Man story. The movie definitely has some plot holes and some things that don't really make sense and some weird character decisions, but it is a good movie. It is a very good movie on the merit that it is trying. It's not just a remaster. It's not trying to bring it to the future, like point by point. It's its own separate thing that also has an Invisible Man, which is really what I need to see in movies like this that are classic or retellings of Hollywood classics. So please, Guillermo del Toro, make a good Frankenstein movie. I'm begging you. But that's all I really have to say about the movie. Again, 7 out of 10. Very good. Surprised I enjoyed it this much. It was a 6 for like most of the movie, and then like the second act ends, and it's like, it's so cool. But yeah, that's actually all I have to say. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I won't see you at all. Oh, where'd I go? Bye. Like and subscribe.